coordination. All right, last but by no means least, we have Victor Ostrowski. I hope I pronounced that right, Victor. Victor is a French Australian. Do we need to say how old you are? I don't know. I've got that details. Does anyone want to know how old Victor is? I can put it in the chat. You can take bids on it. Guess anybody? Oh, he's moved from France to Turkey 17 years ago and has fell in love with our country, the land, the wildlife, and sounds and colours. He's got a certificate in conservation ecosystem management and is in works, I think, from the Clarence Valley. Victor is going to talk to us about the Glossy Squad Clarence Valley, which he recently co-established, and explain how he got involved and what motivated the group to form. I'll hand over to you, Victor. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, everyone. And hi. Thank you to the Conservancy for having me and for the important work that you do ongoing, and to all our panelists and everyone involved. It's such a inspiring group of people. As I often say, you guys are the superheroes, and I am here to help you guys out. So I'm speaking from unceded Yagal country, and I pay my respects to Yagal people, past and present, and emerging. I am a founding director of Wildlife Preservation Clarence Valley and a member of the Glossy Squad Clarence Valley, which is our local branch, established this year by Daniel Macaulay and myself in conjunction with the original Glossy Squad, Saving Our Species team, Clarence Land Care, the Clarence Environment Centre as well, to essentially centralise our efforts and build awareness and momentum in the valley for glossy conservation. So we assist the Saving Our Species team with data collection, field surveys, and implementation of habitat augmentation programs. We've recently finished a project in which we propagated known feed trees that we grew in the nursery, and we ended up planting/distributing just under 3,000 trees, expanding known glossy habitat on both private properties and Crown lands. We also supplied some of those trees to TAFE classes undertaking bush regeneration activities, and spoke to them about glossy black cockatoo identification and ecology. Daniel, on his end, has been working with Clarence Land Care in partnership with the Great Eastern Ranges in Nimboida, where glossy sightings have critically reduced after intense and repetitive fires. So that project included regeneration of lost habitats, improving accessibility to feed trees through weed control, reducing fuel loads around remaining hollow-bearing trees in active glossy sites, and installing artificial nesting in a strategic location that the birds are known to favour, near a permanent water source. Since the beginning of that project, sightings have notably increased in the area, and the amount of birds as well, from 3 to 7, which is a great outcome to see the birds returning and staying. And through these projects, we've engaged many stakeholders, and we've been able to bring some light to the plight of glossies in our valley, which we look forward to continuing. Another project I'm involved with is the Glossy Black Cockatoo Corridor acquisition in Gulmarrad near Yamba, undertaken by Wildlife Preservation Clarence Valley. And the story with that essentially is the property came on our radar when I noticed glossies flocking up in this area over the course of a couple of months. We went from about 2 birds to 11, and they stayed in a very limited area for many months, right through the nesting season. And through mapping out the feeding habitat in the area, I became aware that a 6-acre corridor was about to be cleared for an imminent subdivision in 2007, so a legacy development, like plagues much of the East Coast. I was able to document 30 feed trees on that 6-acre property, many old growth-bearing trees, several other threatened species as well, such as rufous betongs, coastal emus, which are part of a critically endangered population here of less than 50 adults, powerful owls, barking owls, to name a few, and all in all, just a bit over 65 species of fauna and 75 species of flora. So I approached the owner of the property, who it turns out is in a wheelchair and is subdividing to remain financially stable. So through constructive discussions and compromise, we agreed to an alternative scenario, a win-win, which would see the property be bought over for conservation. So I gathered some like-minded conservationists, and we looked at several options and ways to go about it, and decided to establish Wildlife Preservation Clarence Valley with the invaluable mentorship and guidance of our partners Biodiversity Legacy and their legal team. WPCV Wildlife Preservation Clarence Valley is a non-profit community land trust set up as a company limited by guarantee. We, as I said, are working to purchase the property from the owner and protecting it forever by placing it into a community ownership structure. So we've done a lot of work up to now, figuring out the ins and outs, negotiating a fair and achievable price, and a way forward that is viable both for us and for the current owner. Again, through discussion and active listening, we were able to recently put our finger on a price of $850,000 for the full 6 acres. And we're currently waiting for our tax-deductible gift recipient status and working through a fundraising strategy to have one big go at pulling the necessary funds together to make this happen. So at this point, like I said, both parties are willing. Most of the work is done. The details, for the most part, are sorted out. And all that's stopping us from saving this wildlife corridor for good is the money. So we all know that one threat, the major threat to glossies is habitat loss. And here we have an actual tangible chance to save some habitat. So everyone involved, we're all really hoping to find the financial support in time to get a successful outcome to what is already a great story, but has the potential to be even greater. So if anybody's interested in the project, to find out more about our organization and the scope of work that we do, please visit our website, www.wpcv.org. You can find the news coverage of this project and hear from us further and from the property owner. You can also pledge to donate towards the acquisition by filling out a form. And you can subsequently find another talk I gave a few days ago in which I speak in a lot more depth about the project and about the importance of biosphere preservation as part of systemic risk mitigation and community resilience. So again, if you're interested, www.wpcv.org. And that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening. It's been a pleasure to be part of this inaugural forum, and I look forward to the rest of it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Victor. It sounds like you've taken the citizen science into citizen action with the acquisition. Ambitious target, but 850 on the, you must find some, hopefully you find some wealthy donors. Sam's put that website into the chat, so all of you can go out there and just jump on board and lend your support to what Victor's trying to achieve. So thank you all very much. I think we have time, Sam, don't we, for